America's own Dirrell, an Olympian, a two-time national champion, 22 wins from 25 fights. The next step in a relentless hunt for a world title. So, here we go. Tszyu versus Gausha, live from Minneapolis. And the only place you'll see it, your undisputed home of big-time boxing main event.
They're charging $60 over in Australia to see Tszyu fight on pay-per-view. Good afternoon. I'm all spitting and shit. Welcome to the show. In less than 10 minutes or so, Tszyu and Dirrell Gausha, on board that they charge, are going to be having their press conference for their fight this Saturday on Showtime Boxing. And over in Australia, it's going to be on main event pay-per-view for $60. Originally, this was supposed to be the date for Jermell Charlo versus Castano 2, but Castano got injured. Their fight's now happening in May. And Tszyu, I'm guessing for PBC to appease him, to not waste his time, they gave him the date instead. And he's fighting former 154-pound contender in Dirrell Gausha, who I've been ringside for 2 of his fights. Me personally, I don't think that Tszyu is going to be able to stop Gausha, but if he does, I'm going to be highly impressed. Highly impressed. Gausha is not a big puncher, and he's not. Put it this way, I'm going to say that he's a gatekeeper. Now, the fight's happening in Minnesota, Minneapolis. Some, including my colleague, think that Tszyu may get robbed so that Charlo Castano 3 can go forward, depending on what happens with the second fight. Me personally, I just don't think that Dirrell Gausha can do it. However, I will go to say that all of a sudden, everyone's acting like they know who Tszyu is. Nah. Because to say that means you've been up 6:30 in the morning on Wednesday morning watching these fights. And people haven't. Let's go look at his resume. 20-0 with 15 KOs, 27 years old. Last fight against Takashi Inoue. You may remember he fought Jaime Munguia. Stevie Spark was a late step in for Mick Zarafa. Dennis Hogan, a blown-up welterweight, bottom of the barrel, 147-pounder, was fighting at 154, Bowen Morgan. And then well over the hill and war-torn, battle-worn Jeff the Hornet Horn. So resume-wise, Dirrell Gausha is the best fighter outside of Jeff Horn that he has fought, because look, he's been in there with Erickson Lubin, Jamonte Clark, who he won against, Austin Trout, Erislandy Lara. But to me, he just doesn't have the goods. He just doesn't have the goods. Let me open up this press conference here, because I got to admit, I am tired. I need to go to bed. Sleeping schedule's all jacked up. I need at least like a 2-hour nap. Fucking family trauma, lawsuits, is just a mess. But the good thing is, it's a very busy weekend in boxing. With the Josh Warrington card versus Kiko Martinez 2. Kiko Martinez is the champion. We got Miguel Burcho versus Jeremiah Nakathila. This is going to also be in competition with the Showtime card. That's going to be on ESPN Plus. You got, for the low-down degenerates, you got Orlando Salido taking on Eric Morales for $22 on Fight.tv. What else? What other card am I missing? There's another midday card, right? Isn't it Richard Riakporhe on the Boxer, who still doesn't have a TV deal here in the States? Hold on, I'm pulling up the boxing schedule. Over a pretty solid week, some interesting fights. You know, nothing really super high tier, but you can say that Tszyu Gausha is the fight of the weekend. Second, I'm talking about, we would have ranked the most significant fights of the weekend. I would say Tszyu Gausha, Warrington Martinez 2, or Martinez Warrington 2. And then you got the return of Miguel Burchell, number 3. You got Lewis Ritson versus the James Tszyu also this weekend. And what's number 4 significant fights? We're going to start looking at the undercards, right? You got Lee Selby returning in the IBF Eliminator against Gustavo Lemus. That's going to be on Premier Sports over in the UK. So pretty solid, really solid weekend in boxing. But nothing that's just out there that makes you be like, yo, this is the fucking, I'm staying in the house for this. This is it. This is, I'm canceling all my plans. So, where do we begin? We gotta look at the undercard. Tripping. He just looks so sleepy, and that's what reminds me of his fight style. Here is the Tzyu Goucher undercard, by the way. Michelle Rivera taking on Joseph Adorno. Elvis Rodriguez taking on Juan Jose Velasco. And this is what really bugs me here. You got Bakhram Murtazaliev, who is the IBF mandatory for Jermell Charlo. He's taken at least 3 set step-aside agreements, 19 and 14 KOs. This is now, I believe, is this his 3rd Charlo undercard that he's fought on? No, that was Kovalev. By the way, he's a main event fighter. This is the 3rd Charlo undercard he's fought on since he's been IBF mandatory. So he's just living the dream, fighting a whole bunch of nobodies, making step-aside money. But my issue is, Tszyu is number 1. Murtazaliev is number 1 by the... Tszyu is number 1 by the WBO. Murtazaliev is number 1 by the IBF. But yet they won't fight each other. Like, that shit, yo, bro. Like, Bro. Joey Spencer returns. Here, let me open up this press conference. They're going to be starting any moment now. But yeah, take a time out, like the video, subscribe, and teach through controversy with Fight View 360. WBC app powered by the Vive Network. Going to be a busy weekend here on the channel. I can't wait to go to my local medicinal marijuana dispensary tomorrow to get me a nice hybrid strain. Keep the blood flowing. Keep the mind clear. Broken shit, gonna buy me a steak, but where am I gonna get a steak from? Should I buy one and throw it on the grill, or should I go to a restaurant and get a steak? Joseph Adorno Rivera. What do you mean? Why'd you say it like that? Oh, my bad. You were saying Adorno Ortiz could be the fight. Well, Rivera Adorno, I think it's gonna be a good fight. That is the chief support. Here's the main Showtime card. It's gonna be Elvis Rodriguez, Juan Jose Velasco, and the main event is Tzyu Goucher. So it's going to be Rodriguez Velasco to open up the card, Rivera Adorno, and then Tzyu Goucher. And then you have 2 fights that I would actually want to see with Joey Spencer versus this guy. Lord knows I don't want to butcher his name, but Ravshan Hudey Nazirov, and then Murtazaliev. Like, bro, I want to see these fights. So these are going to be dark matches, ladies and gentlemen. These are not on the broadcast, from my understanding. Hold on, I just got... Oh, that's the Showtime pay-per-view. My bad. I just got an email. Ryan Garcia is having his media workout March the 29th. So yeah, the press conference is going to be starting soon. And yeah, I got Tzyu. Do I think that Tzyu, if he wins, is he going to get his shot next? No, because from my understanding, Murtazaliev is the next mandatory. Then it's Tzyu, and then it's the winner of Lubin and Fundora. So it's IBF first, then WBO, then WBC. But if Charlo wins, will he vacate and move up? Or will Castano win? Will he vacate and move up? I think Charlo has a better chance to move to 160 than Castano. It all depends. It all depends. So what's going on with you guys, man? I missed you guys. How's everybody doing? It's no secret that I've been really, really turned off from boxing on YouTube and really branching out to try to get my content other places, like on a podcast and everything. It's just that YouTube, let me tell you, it's just a lot of scams. Like boxing on YouTube, it's just a big scam now. You know, motherfuckers be like acting like, you know, like they'll put such and such react. I just can't do it anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's a turn off. However, Saturday nights, that's my bread and butter. That's my bread and butter. Tszyu is going to knock that burn out. What does burn mean in boxing? But yeah, I just wanted a better fight. I mean, I'm warming up to the fight now, but I would have rather had Tszyu versus Murtazaliev. But Murtazaliev is taking step-aside money to be able to fight for the championship. So, you know, why waste that, you know? But to have two contenders on the card not fighting each other, that's just a little, you know... I am also, getting back to YouTube gossip, I am excited about George Kambosos versus Devin Haney, though. And if Usyk and Joshua does happen, people been giving Joshua the shit because he been on some, he been real, like on some Twitter fingers gangster type shit. You know, I like this new attitude, Anthony Joshua. You can still be the company brand man and still, you know, have some personality. He used to seem so robotic to me. I like this new Anthony Joshua, you know? He was real cringe and robotic, if that makes sense. You know? Skye is owned by NBC. Why can't they put it? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, here in the States, this card's going to be taking place on Showtime this Saturday night. It's Tzsu's American debut, and over in here, I'll show you. They're going crazy over there in Australia. They're charging the Australians $60 to see Tszyu fight Dirrell Gausha. Dirrell Gausha's living the dream. He's pay-per-view, baby. Look. They put Dirrell Gausha over on pay-per-view over in Australia. Those guys are nuts, right? You see that? $60. They're nuts. You Australians buy anything. But Tszyu's fights all have been pay-per-view over there for quite some time. So they're just going to keep milking this. But he made the right decision aligning himself with Showtime and PBC because they do have, you know, the 154-pound division on lock. You know? So yeah, what's going on? Waiting for this press conference to start. I kind of want to go make some tea and not be drinking water, but whatever. Josh Warrington, Kinko Martinez too. Josh Warrington won via majority decision back in 2017. It's crazy to see that they're now fighting for a championship. Kinko Martinez's championship of all people in 2022. Ebony Bridges is on that undercard. I want to pull up a clip because she is an Australian. We are talking about an Australian fighter. I want to pull up a clip of the Ebony Bridges press conference. And let me tell you something. And I said it before. T Street's no simpleton. But T Street does love the woman's body. Okay? But sometimes it's like, yo. I mean, she's already pretty much told us that she'd be selling sex. Or selling like sex appeal. And it's just like, it gets a little boring sometimes, you dig? You know, like, you know, her personal, her social media, you know, she wearing everybody's favorite tights, them tights that the women wear, where it's like, you know, it's up in their ass crack. It's like, yeah, it's appeasing to the eye, but at the end of the day, I just want to see you fight. You know? This is in the Armory. This fight right here. Here, let me turn this up.
For 5 months, Tszyu, a very important test in his U.S. debut against Dirrell Gausha. This is a hell yeah fight.
I've been waiting for this one for quite a long time.
If Tszyu comes in here and enters this mix, we're going to make even more fun fights than we already are.
At the moment, I'm buzzing from all of this stuff, man. Having my first spar here in America the other day was just incredible.
We've been watching Tszyu for quite a while. We were witness to a lot of his father's most significant fights were on Showtime. So we had an eye on him, not just because of his talent, but because of the history.
It's pretty cool, and it's like a new chapter and a new beginning. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more years ahead. I'll take anyone on, man. I'll really think out less. I'll fight whoever, man. And honestly.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Minneapolis. I'm Brian Custer, the host of Showtime Championship Boxing, and we are excited because on Saturday, Showtime Championship Boxing is making its first ever visit here to the Twin Cities and the We can't wait because it is going to host a triple header of fights that come your way on Showtime Championship Boxing, and not just any fights. I'm talking important fights, crossroads fights, from the main event all the way to the opening bout, and you can include the co-main event. And what a place to do it than here in Minneapolis in the Armory. Built in the 30s, this building has such a rich boxing history, especially for this area. Some of the greats to ever lace up gloves fought in the Armory. I'm talking about the Henry Armstrongs fought there in the late 1930s. My favorite fighter of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson, fought in the Armory in 1942. And now the main event, Tszyu and Dirrell Gausha get to etch their names into the legacy of that great building in the main event. It all comes your way on Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern, that is 6 o'clock Pacific time on Showtime Championship Boxing. This event is promoted by the best, TGB Promotions, No Limit Boxing, and Warrior Boxing as well. Tickets, they are on sale right now. You can get your tickets. They can be purchased at the Armory. You can also purchase them at ArmoryMN.com through Ticketmaster. Again, ArmoryMN.com through Ticketmaster. Let's talk about the fights. Again, crossroads fights here is what I'm talking about. And the main event is a special one because we've got a man who is in the top 10 when you talk about challengers at 154 pounds, former Olympian in Dirrell Gausha, who's fought for the world title. But also, it's special because this main event features a guy who's coming here to the States and making his debut. Listen, he's the son of a boxing Hall of Famer. His father, former champion at 140 pounds, former unified champion as well. In fact, he was a two-time champion at 140. He's making his U.S. debut, talking about Tszyu. And his father, Tszyu, had such a rich history with this network. I mean, you know, Tszyu fought 15 times here in the United States of his 33 fights, 10 of those on this network, where he was an impressive 9-1. Knocked out 7 of those opponents just on Showtime alone. And now his son is looking to follow in that legacy and really make his own path here in the United States and making his debut right here on Showtime in the main event. So it should be one heck of a fight in what is the most loaded division at 154 pounds. But we're going to begin the night, though, with junior welterweights. And we've got Elvis Rodriguez taking on Juan Jose Velasco. And, you know, Elvis, 12-1. He's got 11 knockouts. Taking on Juan, 23-2 with 14 knockouts. Martin Bader is here. He's going to do the translation for us. Elvis, I'll start with you. Wasn't too long ago you suffered your first defeat, but then you come back, you get the victory that we saw on Showtime. Now you've got Juan Velasco in front of you. Tell us, what should we expect Saturday when you get in the ring with Juan?
Bueno, Elvis, sufriste una dura derrota, pero luego te recuperaste, te pudimos ver por Showtime, cómo pudiste salir de nuevo hacia arriba, y ahora tenés a un oponente como Juan José Velasco, que representa otro desafío. ¿Qué sensaciones tenés vos de cara a la pelea de este sábado?
Bueno, primero que nada, lo mejor que pude hacer fue sacar lo mejor de la derrota, encontrar la motivación y eso me motivó a seguir trabajando más duro en el gimnasio cada día y a seguir mejorando, y gracias a Dios volvimos con una gran victoria, y este próximo sábado 26 de marzo podrán ver de nuevo todo lo duro que hemos estado trabajando, y lo vamos a demostrar encima del ring.
You know what? That loss that you mentioned, it motivated me to come back to the gym and work even harder. And, thank God that I was able to come back with that victory and show what I'm worth. And I plan to do that again this Saturday against a tough opponent like Velasco. But I believe that all my hard work is going to pay off and fans are going to see a great fight on Saturday night.
Juan, let me come to you. I mean, you've fought some of the toughest guys when you talk about 140. I mean, Barrios, Prograis. But you've won your last 3 fights. Give me the biggest difference from the fighter who we saw against Prograis, Barrios, to the guy we've seen lately and we'll see on Saturday.
Bueno, tuviste oponentes muy duros a través de tu carrera, como Barrios y Prograis, por ejemplo, ¿no? Pero también a la misma vez has ganado los últimos 3 compromisos que tuviste. ¿Cuál es la gran diferencia que dirías que la gente ve en vos en este momento comparado con aquel que peleó contra Barrios y Prograis en el pasado?
Bueno, primeramente lo que pasó con Barrio y Prograis ya quedó en el pasado, fue parte de la experiencia de mi carrera y pude sacarle lo mejor a eso. Y trabajé fuerte, hice campamentos muy duros para nuevamente tener este compromiso y me siento preparado y tranquilo por todo el trabajo que hice.
First things first, what you mentioned about Barrios and Prograis, that's in the past. I did learn my lessons from it, but I'm really focused on the present because I feel like I'm ready for this challenge. I'm ready to take things up another level, and I'm very confident in how my training went and the weapons that I have prepared to fight this Saturday night.
Elvis, listen, people love knockouts, and they love to see you stop people and then strum once you've strummed. So will we see that Saturday night when you face Juan?
Te vamos a ver tocar la proverbial guitarra después de la pelea del sábado a la noche. A la gente parece que le encanta eso.
Bueno, claro que sí. Confío en mi preparación, confío en mi trabajo. Fue un campamento bastante bueno, trabajamos bastante fuerte y venimos bien confiados y enfocados en que el sábado 26 de marzo vamos a conseguir una buena victoria y a seguir escalando en la división de las 140 libras.
You can count on that air guitar. I can assure you that. You know why? Because I am confident in my training. I am confident in the foundation that I have laid before this Saturday night. And on March 26th, you're going to see me come out with the victory, my hand on top, and then music for everybody.
Juan, you got a confident guy in front of you. You believe a victory over Elvis Rodriguez means that Juan Velasco should be fighting for a world title next.
Bueno, tenés a un rival que está evidentemente confiado, pero ¿crees que si le ganás mereces una oportunidad de pelear por el título mundial?
Creo que después de esta victoria me merezco nuevamente una chance por el título mundial. Trabajé fuerte, como lo dije anteriormente, para este nuevo compromiso y bueno, por lo que escuché de él también, así que muy contento para el sábado poder dar un gran espectáculo a todo público.
I absolutely do believe that if I win this fight, I should get a world title shot. I can see that he's confident, and he should be. But I am confident as well, and I know that on Saturday night, I'm going to provide the fans with fireworks, and they're going to see a splendid fight from both of us.
Folks, that's the opening bout of the night. Let's get to the co-main. Michel Rivera and Joseph Adorno. This is going to be an all-action fight. These are two guys who know one another. So that adds to the intrigue of it. Michel Rivera, who likes to call himself the new version of Muhammad Ali. Then you've got Joseph Adorno. Joseph, I'll start with you. You guys do know each other. How do two friends end up in the ring getting ready to duke it out here at the Armory?
My promoter called me about the fight. And, me and Michel, we know each other through social media. So, I talked to him about it quick. And he said, you know, we shouldn't be fighting if, you know, if there's no, like, title, nothing that puts us out there, you know. So, you know, we both agreed on not taking the fight. So, past, like, 4 days after that, you know, my promoter calls me on a three line and says, he's calling saying that you scared to fight him and he ready to sign a contract. And I'm like, nah, I just got off the phone with him talking about we're not going to fight. What are you talking about? We know each other. And then they was like, nah. And then they put the three away. And then I think it was his Lou Cuba or something like that. Then said, nah, we ready to take the fight. He ready to sign a contract right now. So I'm like, ain't no way. I just got off the phone with him. And then he's telling me, no, this is what I just got off the phone with him right now. So I'm like, they gave me the contract all signed and also, you know, I signed mine.
Wow. So I assume then that kind of adds to the intrigue of this. I'm sure you're a little upset about that, considering everything that went down. Now you're like, okay, well then you want to fight.
I'm not gonna look like like I'm scared of something. You know, I told him, you know, if it's a good fight, of course, you know, we could be friends, but you know, it's just business. But the way it all happened is like, you know what? Give me that contract. I'm signing it too.
All right. Michelle? He's giving us the story. Anything different from your side of you?
Well, yeah. It's like I don't tell my opponents. It's like he was the last opponent that they say me. I was supposed to fight with this guy. I don't remember the name now. But I was supposed to fight with 5 opponents, and he was the last. He write me, wait, they calling me to fight you. Then I say him, I don't tell my opponents. If you like the fight, you take it. If you don't like, you take it. It's like, I know him. When I will fight, he support me. And when I will fight, I support him, you know. But I don't matter. That's boxing. That's boxing. I'm right here for be legend, you know. I have the skills. Everybody know who is the reincarnation of Muhammad Ali. He's a good guy with good record. And if you take the fight, it's good record for being my record, you know. It's good to get defeated in the line, but I don't say like, he say me, I don't want to fight with you, but I don't know. They send me the contract. I say, I don't have the power to take my opponents. If you want to take it, you take it. If you don't want to take it, don't take the fight. You know what they're saying? It's not like, I don't say him like, hey, don't take it. He say me like, if it's like for more money, world title, is, you know, better take the fight. It's more important. But I say, yeah, if you want to take it, but it's not my decision, it's yours.
Yeah.
Then now I'm ready for fight, yes, man.
And now we got it.
Yeah, of course.
So now we got the fight, Joseph. You know, Michelle, what should we expect on Saturday?
You know, just a new, well-improved Joseph, you know, not just relying on my power, you know. We know he's a great fighter, of course. You know, so we're just going to go out there and put in the work, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been working, and I know this takes both of us from prospect to contender, whoever wins Saturday night. So, you know, I know it was in the line. So, you know, just got to be focused and, you know, just relaxed up in the ring. And, you know, you don't see fireworks. Like you said, we both bring spectacular power. You know, we both undefeated fighters. So, you know, it's going to be, I think, out of the 3 cards is probably going to take the show.
Michelle, what should we expect when you get in the ring with Joseph?
Well, man, I'm focused for this fight. I was like 4 months in camp, you know, flying for Vegas and flying for other places to get better, you know, sparring with various. I'm great. I'm not 100%. I'm ready, 1,000,000% ready, you know. I believe that my last name is ready. Then I know that he's a good fighter with good record. Then, man, I'm ready for this. You know, everybody knows that I have this experience fighting with guys that I know. It's not my first time. My last fight was a guy that was training with my state trainer. Then, don't matter, man. That's boxing, and I'm ready for this. Everybody will see it, that this fight can be the fight of the night. But Michelle winner, you know.
Do you anticipate, Michelle, this fight going the distance?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm ready for 14 rounds. If it's 14 rounds, if I get the knockout, okay. But I'm ready for 20 rounds. It's 20 rounds. Ready, man.
Joseph, same question to you. Do you think this fight goes the distance?
Whoever landed the first good punch is going to sleep.
Folks, that's the co-main. That's the appetizer. So now we get to the main event. Tzsyu Terrell Gausha. Listen, I mean, Terrell Gausha has fought for the world title, former Olympian, and now we get Tszyu, the U.S. debut of Tszyu. His promotion is No Limit Boxing. George Rose is the CEO, also professional rugby footballer as well, because I'm looking at him like, yo, you are not a boxer. As big as you are, he is the CEO of No Limit Boxing. George, a few words.
Look, I could have fitted in the super heavyweight division if you had one of those. But, man, look, it's an absolute pleasure to be here in America. I just want to acknowledge everyone who's opened their doors to us and been so welcoming. We're really excited to be here on a PBC show, on Showtime, headlining with Tszyu. It's an absolute honour for us to be here. And, man, just let me tell you a little bit about Tszyu first. Tszyu is the star of Australian boxing. He's the pay-per-view king. Man, he's the face of Australian boxing back home. And for us to finally make the US debut here, we're really excited about it. We're here. We've been wanting to put the super welterweight division on notice for a while now. COVID held us back from that. But now we're here, excited to make our US debut. Really excited about the rich history of the Armory and to be here in Minneapolis. We can't wait to rip in. And you're finally going to get to see Tszyu in the flesh here in the US because, like I said, we've been hanging to get over here. And just thank you again to PBC and Showtime for having us here. Looking forward to a big night.
Thank you, sir. So here we go. The main event. Tszyu, 20-0. 15 of his wins have come by knockout. But he's got Terrell Gausha in front of him. 22-2 and 1. He's got 11 knockouts. Tim, I'll start with you because generally when a guy comes making his U.S. debut, getting a lot of hype, sometimes you want an easy touch. I want to ease my way on into the States. Yet, you take on a guy, top 10 and 154 pounds. He's fought for the world title. You tell me why you wanted Terrell Gausha in your U.S. debut.
Yeah, look, Terrell Gausha's name popped up before my last fight, which we happily accepted straight away. And for me, at this level where you are ranked number one in the WBO, there's no such thing as easy fights. There's no such thing as fights where you get to pick and choose. You got to fight anyone and anyone, you know. And Terrell Gausha's got the credentials. He's fought the very best in the division, and having to fight someone like that gets to prove to everyone, you know, who you really are. So it's quite simple.
Give me your thoughts on fighting here in the States. I mean, this is a place where your father was amazing, and now you get to blaze your own trail. What are your thoughts on making your U.S. debut Saturday?
Yeah, look, this is a buzz for me. I'm like super excited. Like, you know, we've done great things in Australia, and you know, we had arenas sell out in one day. We got cities and arenas named after myself, which is pretty crazy. But you know, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of Australia and come here to America, because for me, this is what I've always watched. I've always watched in my life growing up as a young kid, through the Roy Jones days, through the Felix Trinidad days. You know, this is what I watched on TV, and to be finally being able to experience it, it's a buzz. You know, this is what I live for. If this doesn't get your blood pumping, I don't know what will.
Terrell, I kind of want to know your feelings on this, because Tim is here. Man, there's a lot of hype surrounding him. You got to kind of be thinking like, excuse me, you're on my turf. My division. I've been in here for a while. Give me your thoughts here on facing Tszyu and wrecking this great debut here in the United States.
I'm ready. I'm feeling dangerous. I just like this fight. Tim's a good fighter. You know, he bring the pressure, so it's gonna bring the best out of me to fight a fighter like that.
Tim, I was reading some of the quotes when talking to the media, and I mean, you're not only looking forward to making the debut, quote, I'm here to take over the division and take everyone out. those are some lofty goals, especially at 154. And you got a guy like Gausha in front of you.
Yeah, one step at a time, I guess. But yeah, I'm not here to just take part, man. I mean, I want to really take over, and I believe it, and yeah, it's in my heart, in my destiny.
Dirrell, you were talking to the boxing scene, yourself and Prentice Brewer, who is now added to your team as well in training.
Yeah,
Prentice told the boxing scene, quote, "Tim is not his father." Terrell Gausha said he is a one-trick pony. Talk to us about that.
What I mean by that is, like, you know, when I watch his fights, is he bring the pressure, and that's what he do. I mean, he don't do too much that I had never seen before. You know what I mean? So I think I'm gonna go out there and do some things he haven't seen before. I'm sure he's been watching my fights, and I think he's been watching the wrong thing because it's gonna be a new thing.
Tim, he's not his father and a one-trick pony. Your thoughts?
What can I say? You know, I've got no comment. I'll prove it. I'll show him, I guess. Well, what can I say? You know, actions speak louder than words.
Dirrell, you also was quoted as saying, "One thing is he can't bully me, and I'm going to show him some different things." Talk to me about that and what you meant by that.
I just feel like I'm a true junior middleweight. You know, I'm not one coming up from 147. You know, I've been this weight for a while, so I feel like I'm strong, and you know, I'm not to be bullied. I don't take no shit, so excuse my language, but I think it's a good fight. I'm glad that he took the fight, and there's a lot of you know, respect him for taking a fight like that. So we're gonna go out there and put on a show for the fans and give him a great fight.
Tim, when you get a lot of hype, you know, people want to see you back it up. I guess the question is, will you be the bully Saturday?
Look, I'm going to do what I always do. The game plan's quite simple: make as least mistakes as I possibly can, and capitalize on his mistakes. So the man who makes the less mistakes will win.
Question, I think, for both of you. The winner of this fight, do you believe the winner should get the winner of Castano, Charlo?
Fuck yeah.
Absolutely. No other way around.
Both of you ready for the winner of that fight?
Absolutely.
Okay, I was born ready.
We'll wrap it up with this. Dirrell, we'll start with you. For people, I would say around the world that's going to be watching this fight, considering he's coming all the way over from Australia, the thousands that in Minneapolis that are paying, what can you guarantee that they are going to get Saturday night when you step in the ring with Tzsyu?
Well, I prepared great. You know, we had a injury-free camp. I'm in shape. I had some great sparring. They're going to see a well-live boxer that's going in there to dominate and have an action-packed night.
Tim, it's your debut here in the States. For everybody in Australia that's going to be watching, here in the States who loved your father, are like, okay, let me see what the son's got. What can you guarantee him that they're going to get Saturday night?
I think me and Tszyu are going to produce non-stop action, you know, non-stop action until the final bell rings, or before the bell rings. So I'm coming with everything. I've had a good camp, as everyone always says, I guess. But yeah, I'm really grateful for this opportunity to be fighting here in America. Thank you to all my fans all around the world. I've got a big responsibility ahead of me, but I intend to take it with both hands.
Fantastic. Folks, that's the evening. Saturday night, Showtime Championship Boxing, 9 o'clock Eastern. It is 6 p.m. Pacific time. The main event has Tzsyu making his U.S. debut taking on Dirrell Gausha in the main event at 154 pounds. You do not want to miss it. You already heard him. The winner says they deserve to fight the winner of Charlo Castano. It should be one heck of a night. Guys, I think we're going to face off. We'll start with the first fight of the night. I want to thank everybody for watching.
Yeah, just pretty much what I expected from Tszyu. Pretty much what I expected. You know, him and Gausha not really too much of shit talkers. I really wish they would have switched out that opening fight with Elvis Rodriguez and Juan Velasco and put in IBF mandatory Bakram Murtazaliyev's fight. But whatever, it is what it is. We're actually going to be here tomorrow for the weigh-in at the same time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And me and Big J are going to do our final fight week preview on the fight. This is the opening fight. Elvis Rodriguez versus Velasco. The second fight on the Showtime card. What does it say? It starts 9 p.m.? Yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on main event pay-per-view in Foxtel and KO Sports over in the UK. I mean, not UK, in Australia. For $59.95. Michelle Rivera versus Joseph Adorno. That is the co-feature, chief support, whatever you want to call it. And yes, he cuts his hair like that for a reason, to look like Muhammad Ali. He looks more like Muhammad Ali than Nico Ali Walsh. You know what I smell? If Tszyu wins, I smell Tszyu fighting Tony Harrison. That's what I smell. I don't think it's going to be controversial, but my colleague Big J does. Thinks that Tszyu going to get robbed. So it can be a rematch, and therefore they can have Charlo Castano 3. But I think that Tszyu is going to cruise to a decision. If he does stop Dirrell Gausha, I'm going to be highly impressed. I'm talking about highly impressed. But I just don't think that's going to happen. My personal opinion. Do I think there's going to be some controversy? We'll see. We'll see. Overall, I rate this card a B-. Originally, it was supposed to be Charlo Castano 2, but, you know, Castano got injured. All right, guys. I'm going to go take care of some house shit. I'll see you tomorrow for the weigh-ins. And then we have a big day.